Hi, I'm Julia Westfall, and I'm the CEO of Hera Hub DC. And today I'm talking with Kathleen Burnett. And she is the founder of Anywhere League. So, Kathleen, why don't you take a minute to introduce yourself and tell us about Anywhere League?
Yeah, thanks, Julia. I'm Kathleen. As she said, I run Anywhere League. It's a 6-week-long remote intramural league based on trivia. It's for remote teams to have a chance to come together and bond and engage with each other and really build relationships. And I'm very kindly here today to talk a little bit about the Women's History Month trivia that I put together that is available on my website.
Yeah, that it was really great. We Hera Hub has actually done 3 seasons of Anywhere League with Kathleen, and it's been a lot of fun. And you really learn a lot about people on your team that you didn't necessarily anticipate, like who knows about coins or flags of different countries and things like that because they've traveled a lot. So it's actually been a really great opportunity for us as a community to get to know each other better in a bit of a different way. Yeah, so Kathleen, why don't you tell us a little bit about how you put together your questions and how you decided to do this great list for Women's History Month?
Sure, thanks. So yeah, I still write all the questions by myself.
Hmm.
It's, sometimes it's more of a challenge than others, depending on how inspired I am. And I really try to mix things up, ask a variety of questions about a wide variety of topics, because the modern workplace is diverse and we're trying to make it more diverse. And just asking questions about sports or commercials that were on in the United States in the 1990s over and over again just gets kind of boring and doesn't really reflect the interests and experiences of everyone you might have working on your team. So I always do that. And for Women's History Month, I really wanted to highlight some of the great women I've asked about in the past, some I will probably ask about in the future, but there are so many great stories, and it's easy to pass them over when you're writing trivia because there's a sense of, well, everybody's heard of Einstein or Henry VIII, so let's put them in there more often. So this was really a chance to, maybe ask some of these questions and tell some of these stories that, might get missed otherwise. And it's just meant to be a little bit of fun and a learning
Yeah.
experience.
Well, why don't we give it a go? Why don't you share a few of the questions that you put together for Women's History Month? And the great thing is that Kathleen has these questions and a list of questions on her website. We have them on a blog on our website, so there's plenty of ways that you can get these questions yourself and download them and surprise some of your friends with some interesting trivia questions. So why don't you see if how what I know about women's history, you would think, with given Hera Hub, that I would be really tuned in. But if you want to ask me a few,
Okay.
that would be, or a couple, that would be great. It'd be fun.
All right. Well, this one might be a little bit more in your area. The
Hmm.
National Association of Working Women has what other name, which served as the inspiration for the title of a 1990 comedy and the iconic song from the soundtrack recorded by one of the film's stars?
Can you repeat that, please?
Of course. The National Association of Working Women has what other name, which served as the inspiration for the title of a 1980 comedy and the iconic song from the soundtrack recorded by one of the film's stars?
Mm. You would think I would know that because but I have no idea.
I can tell you it is a comedy about women in the workplace.
Well, is it a movie or a TV? It was TV, you
It was
said.
a movie. A
Oh,
movie.
oh, you mean 9 to 5?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
They started calling themselves 9 to 5, and that became the title of the movie, and then one of Dolly Parton's most successful songs.
Wow. Oh, yeah. See, I do know stuff.
Yeah. And that's
I
one of
was
the
like,
great
hold
things
on for a
about
minute.
doing trivia. I
Mhm.
see that all the time with my customers, that they don't think they know something, but then they kind of tease it out and, use the clues and kind of riff off each other, which is the
Mhm.
best part.
Yeah, well,
So
I know you've stalked us a little bit in our groups when we're in there trying to figure it out, and and sometimes we get it right and sometimes we have it right, but we change it to wrong.
Yeah.
And needless to say, we're all just a little bit competitive. So there is that, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you want to try another one?
Yeah. In one of the first instances of pain relief for childbirth, which queen was given chloroform for the birth of her last two of 9 children?
Was that Queen Victoria?
It was.
Yeah,
Yes.
I didn't know about the chloroform, but I knew she had a lot of kids. So
Yes. Had a
there you
lot of
go.
kids, did not like kids particularly, but still had 9 of them. And
Well, I guess we know what she liked. Anyway, moving
and
on.
it was a experimental procedure. She was one of the first people, full stop, to be given chloroform to help with the pain. And thankfully there were no adverse effects. She stayed on the throne all the way until, I want to say, 1902. So,
Yeah. And then one more. Let's see if I can be 3 for 3.
all right. Which woman, considered the first computer programmer, was taught math to counter the wild artistic temperament of her father, the poet Lord Byron?
Hmm. Read it again, please.
Which woman,
Uh-huh.
considered the first computer programmer, was taught math to counter the wild
Um,
artistic temperament of her father, the poet Lord Byron?
I know when you say it, I'm gonna know it, but
Yeah.
I can't think of it.
Ada Lovelace.
Well, I didn't know that one.
Yeah,
And you would think I would because I started out my career at IBM and did programming many years ago, so you would think I would know that, but
yeah, and she's
uh,
one of those people who's really come back into the spotlight in the last several years.
mhm.
You know, part of the problem was that she worked with Charles Babbage on his analytic machine, and that was never actually built. But people have been reading her notes, and she started coming up with these complex algorithms by herself to
Wow.
use in the machine, and kind of posthumously is considered the first computer programmer. And yes, her father was Lord Byron, and her mother was terrified that she would end up as wild and romantic as her father. And so her mother thought math would be a good grounding experience for her.
Well, I guess it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. So tell us a little bit about how your program works, how it all works. If somebody wanted to sign up to participate in your intramural trivia league with their
Well,
business.
you sign up your team. It's a 6-week season, and during that 6-week season there is a set of drop-in quiz times. So I'll offer the quiz 5 or 6 times a week. When your team wants to play, you just show up onto the video call and you get asked a series of questions. There's 5 rounds in each quiz. They normally take about 45 minutes, and it's done sort of round robin style. So at the end of the week, I compare scores in a head-to-head fashion between teams. And at the end of the 6-week season, whoever has the best record ends up being the season champions. So there's a little bit of competition, not amongst yourselves, but against other companies, other teams. Frequently, other teams will be on the call with you. So you really get to, be there together as a team against other people, and not just, competing against Brian from accounting.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. And yeah, because I know with when we were participating, we saw some of the same people again, which was nice. And so and I know on our first season, I think we had beginner's luck. We
Yeah.
won that season the first go round, and haven't done as well as we have in the other two, but we'll be back for more.
Yeah, it's
But
pretty competitive.
yeah, 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 it is in a good way, in a healthy way, because
Yeah.
so I think that's great. Well, thanks so much for taking the time to kind of share these women's history bits of trivia. And again, um, Kathleen has a whole PDF of some great additional questions. I really like the ones that you do with pictures.
Well,
So, and that's always a lot of fun. So identify this and it's always a great combination of answers and fun photos and things you're like, what the heck is that? And then when you see it in the end, you go, oh, of course. But anyway, so yeah, so you can find it. But so Kathleen, why don't you share your website address
yes.
and
The website is at anywhere-league.com.
mhm. That's great. And yeah, and I'm sure you can reach out to and talk to Kathleen if you'd
Yeah.
like to learn more about how you and even if it's a team of friends that
Yeah.
want to. But I think it's really great that you've built a platform that allows teams even that are global now, because whether they're all located in the US or they're still working remotely and with people around the world, it's fun to it's nice to have an experience together that is really, I mean, I'm surprised at how global you make it, but I know that you've lived overseas yourself, so I know that brings a special element to your questions and your interests. So, and thank you so much for joining me. And I'll see you soon.
Yeah, thank you, Julia. I
Hmm.
will talk to you later.
Yeah. Okay. Bye
Bye.
bye.